I was busy raising some money to bring to you.
Money?
Here in a bit part is Rita Cancino.
Yes. I want you to find my brother. Something's happened to him. He's gone.
A few pictures later, she was placed under contract.
$50. Please, Mr. Wolf.
And that marked the beginning of Harry Cohn's most important creation, a star of such magnitude she would change the studio's fortunes. But first, experiments with new hair colors and hairlines, and of course a new name, Rita Hayworth.
I've told you 10 times that I wanted a bigger build-up in my introduction, and I intend to get it.
Howard Hawks was persuaded to cast her in Only Angels Have Wings, starring Cary Grant.
It all seems very natural.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Like my hair this way?
I thought it was different.
Tommy, let's have the second 24 bars. Ready? 1 and
Rita was
2,
a trained dancer, and a good one. So Harry Cohn hired Fred Astaire and put them both in a musical, scored by Cole Porter. Fred Astaire.
Rita was mainly a Spanish dancer when she started. You know, her father was my friend. I knew him before she was born. I met him when I was in vaudeville. But all of a sudden I find myself working opposite his daughter. She was a wonderful dancer.
Rita Hayworth would appear in 32 Columbia films, and in her the studio had a publicity goldmine. Everything she did drew attention, and the camera loved her, revealing a smoldering sexuality that made her one of the biggest pin-ups of the war years. She became known as the Love Goddess. She co-starred with Fred Astaire again in You Were Never Lovelier, with a score by Jerome Kern and Johnny Mercer. And in Technicolor. If art imitates life, this sequence could be a glimpse of Rita Hayworth being groomed for stardom by Harry Cohn. It was the full star treatment.
Just one look and then
Jerome Kern and Ira Gershwin wrote the songs, and for Rita's partner, borrowed from MGM, Gene Kelly. While the country was at war, this haunting number struck a chord. The picture was a smash hit, and Harry Cohn was in the unusual position of owning Hollywood's biggest sex symbol. At least in his mind, he owned her. Of course, they fought. When she refused to obey, he put her on suspension. Inevitably, a truce.
Didn't you hear about me, Gabe? If I'd been a ranch, they would have named me the Bar Nothing.
This raised her stardom to mythical status.
Me?
The story was melodramatic and almost impossible to follow, but it didn't matter. Rita was electrifying as Gilda. She played opposite another contract star, Glenn Ford.
Not we. You.
The chemistry was so powerful, many thought it was more than an act, something they both denied.
You do hate me, don't you, Johnny?
I don't think you have any idea how much.
Hate is a very exciting emotion. Haven't you noticed? Very exciting. I hate you too, Johnny. I hate you so much that I think I'm going to die from it.
Put the blame on me, boy.
Legend has it that this is one of the few times we hear Rita sing with her own voice.
Mame kissed a buyer from
In fact, that's not the case. Rita lip-synced all her songs with great skill to other voices. In Gilda, we're hearing Anita Ellis.
blame on me, boy.
Here's perhaps Rita's most famous scene. Wearing a gown by Columbia designer Jean Louis, she performs what's been called a closed striptease.
That's the thing that slew my groove. Put the blame on me, boys. Put the blame on me.
And then a surprise. A blonde Rita with short hair. All thanks to one of her husbands, Orson Welles. Harry Cohn was apoplectic, but he was in fact partly to blame. Orson Welles.
I had divorced from Rita,
Give me a cigarette.
and she came to me and said, I want to make your picture. And Harry said, I want you to do that with Rita.
Ever since that night in the park,
For her sake.
I've been getting the habit.
Well, that turned it from a B picture to a big super movie.
Written and directed by Welles as repayment for a loan from Harry Cohn, the budget soared. Worse, the plot of the film was so confusing, Welles let the studio recut his original version. It wasn't released for 2 years and was still a financial disaster.
Of course, killing you is killing myself.
But there are flashes of the Orson Welles genius, especially this scene in A House of Mirrors.
You know, I'm pretty tired of both of us.
Rita's next production got more publicity than any of her movies. At the height of her fame, she married Prince Ali Khan and quit Hollywood. After a 4-year absence and a separation from the prince, Harry rushed her back onto the screen, and Rita's star power was still intact.
It's only that I do what I love and love what I do. Can't help the mad desire that's deep inside of you. The heat is on, the heat is on.
So Harry pulled out all the stops for Miss Sadie Thompson, shot in color, 3D, and stereo.
Tonight, and it behooves me to announce that the heat is on.